You're standing there watching the big fire. Wendy. Sebastian is suddenly just choking on something. When you look at him, you can see that he have some kind of arrow shaft sticking out from his throat. He's kind of trying to breathe, but the arrow probably crushed his throat in some way, because he's just gasping for air.
I stare at him, and I don't really think anything of his life ending, which I assume it already has. All I do is yell, "They're here now! We have to go!" and duck down and start running in the direction I believe we're supposed to be going.
So is everyone running, or...?
I say, shh, what? And I start running after him.
Yeah. I would say that Wendy is acting under pressure and you two are helping her. So everyone can roll for coolness. And Amber and Simon is going to add or to Wendy's roll if they roll good.
That's a 13 plus 1, 14.
Yeah.
What does Simon roll?
And 15.
Which would make mine a 15, yes?
Yeah.
That's +2. If she rolls 15, it's +2.
And Amber?
I give her +1. I rolled a 13.
Ah, so that actually makes my roll 16.
You're just running. While you trash into the jungle as fast as you can, Amber, you can see how some natives just jumps on the German pilot and someone is chopping and stone axe right in his face. You can not hear his screams, but you can see him looking straight at you before you just disappear into the bushes.
And I just look like shortly behind me to see this, and then I just run for everything that I can, following Wendy, maybe even running past her if I do.
Yeah. But you are just running as fast as you can, and I guess you don't stop until you are sure that your followers are gone.
Yeah.
So when you stop, you can see that you're at the end of a big waterfall that are coming from some cliffs higher up in the jungle. And there seems to be a kind of statue here. A big statue of stone, overgrown with vines. It's formed as a man. A man with a boar head.
Babi Ngepet.
I sort of move past Amber, and I look at this statue. I take out my knife, and I just move to it. I'm just like, yes, Baba, Pa. And I sort of try cutting away at some of the vines covering it to sort of clear them away.
What are you doing? We should get out of here.
Just a moment. I need to catch my breath. I sort of make a bit of a sort of heavy breathing motion and clutch my chest. I just need a moment. Like, you two can head on for a moment, actually. I'll be right there. Just give me a second, please.
No, Wendy.
Just, and I put a hand on Simon. Just let her...
Okay.
So you two walk away and leave Wendy? Freud?
I stay there to watch what she's doing.
Yeah. Wendy, you're clearing the vines from the stone, and you can see this old type of runes or something carved into the stone. It seemed pretty sophisticated, not something you would expect from these natives. And the statue seems really, really old. Like ancient. When you're doing this, you suddenly hear the sound of It sounds like a swinging rope or something. Atop of you.
I look directly up.
Yeah, when you look up into the branches of the jungle, you can see there's something hanging up there. A body, it seems like.
I look back down. I close my eyes for a moment. I think I don't have time for that, no. I say to the others, alright, let's move on. Go on, just give me a... What?
And I try to observe the situation.
Yeah. A drop of blood from the flayed body hits Wendy's face. You others can't really see the body yet, because of the position you are standing in. It's hidden by the branches and vines and everything. But you can see the blood that are running down Wendy's face. Just a drop.
Oh, what the fuck? Let's get moving, Wendy. What is that?
I agree. Let's go. I kind of wipe the blood from my face.
Yeah, you're smearing it out.
And I just start to leave the statue. And as I do so, I just sort of wipe the blood on the statue as I go. Holding my hand there just for a few seconds. And then I'm by Simon's side. I'm going, yes, sorry, we should go. Obviously, it's another one of their horrible offering places. Let's leave.
Yeah, okay. I'm just looking around a bit as we're there, like if it marks something or if there's something around. Are we near the mountainside now? Or is it just out in the forest?
Yeah, while you look around in the jungle, because you're not on the mountains yet, but it's a pretty sloped area, so it's more like the jungle creeps up on the mountains. So even if you aren't up in the mountains, there's still pretty steep cliffs here. But while you're looking around to kind of orient yourself, you can see someone is standing there out in the jungle observing you in a white suit with a black shirt. The blonde hair is kind of smeared with blood and he has a smile on his face. He's a Thai man with a blonde hair and tattoos. Just standing there, and then he's kind of disappearing behind the trees, like he's been following you through the jungle.
I recognize him, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm just clutching my forehead like, no, this isn't real. This isn't real. Yes, where are we going?
Let's just go, I sort of say, and I kind of look about. I go back a little to the statue, go back forward again, and I go, Simon, maybe you should lead. I'm not feeling... I just feel like I need to breathe for a few more moments, but let's move on. You lead the way.
I start heading towards the mountains, and while I do that, I actually look through my pockets to see if I can find my phone. And I switch it on to see if I can get a signal.
You switch it on, and you can immediately see that you have a new message. Not a signal as such, but a new message anyway. It seems to be from Carceri.
I dread reading it, but I can't stop myself, so...
She writes, "Looking forward to see you this night."
She's crazy. I text her back, say, please just alert the authorities. Our plane went down. We're on an island called Babi.
You try to do that, but without a signal you just get an error message.
It's not working. I was trying to see if I had a signal, but no, nothing.
At this point, has Simon started to move on? What about Amber? Where's she?
Yeah, I start trying to move up the slope, like towards... Yeah, upwards, I guess, towards the mountain.
Yeah, just as both of you have moved on a little, I am following. But just before, when I see you, I think, looking at your phone, probably looking a bit confused, Amber moving forward, I just sort of very briefly take out the knife that I have in my coat pocket, and I just sort of prick my finger very quickly. And as I do that, I just, one more time, just lay my hand on that statue. And as soon as I do that, I sort of stop doing that, and I sort of put the knife away, hide my hand, and I start coming behind you guys, leading away from this place.
You're all walking upwards, I guess. Are you moving upwards the mountains, or are you...
Yeah.
Yeah. You can all see the smoke from the jungle where the house are burning. It's like some distance back in the jungle, but you can still see it. As the sun is setting over the mountains, you also can see light, moving light, some from fire or torches moving down the mountain. It seems to be different groups out there. You can also see the light up from the mountain that you have seen from the beach before.
I whisper to Amber. It's them, darling. They're looking for us.
Yeah. And I try to get an idea of how many there are.
The groups has to be like... yeah, at least 10 different groups moving.
There's so many of them. They all here are sort of worshipping this god. Or whatever it is.
That sounds about right, doesn't it? What a silly situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, but they're like Americans? And, you know, mixed people? Are they like... What if they just come out here to do this? Or sort of the island, you know? They just makes them go mad.
Maybe this is the only place they can be, Amber. Maybe this is where they belong.
Well, okay, so we gotta try and sneak by them somehow. I mean, we don't have Sebastian anymore. All we know is we gotta move through some sort of temple and then get into some caves, and then we'll find a boat. And I mean, I don't know how to drive a boat.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that, darling. Simon, I call out.
Yeah.
How's the route looking? Do you think we can get around all these lights? I don't think we should go near any of them if we can. Avoid it.
I guess we can, you know, hide if they come close and pray that they won't find us and go past us. And then maybe we can, you know, continue up the path the same way they came. That's probably the best way. If we hide in the forest when they pass us, they should probably not be able to find us.
And I just nod silently and keep moving, watching around me at all times, ready for anything. Hopefully.
Well, with the pace that the sun is moving downwards and the growing darkness under the branches in the jungle, without your own torches or a lighted electrical torch, you will probably be... It would be really dangerous to continue walking without light in this steep jungle. You could probably fall down from a cliff or suddenly take a step into nothingness and just fall down, or you don't know. So it's hard enough to walk in the jungle with light. Without light, that's really dangerous.
Who has the flashlight?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you really think we should use it?
I think we have to.
Well, it's either that or we try to get away from this a little bit, and, you know, we got the beds, the hammocks. We could rest a bit and then maybe when first light comes, we could start moving?
I don't know, darling.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is then our little distraction will be spent. They're out looking for us now, heading there now. Tomorrow morning, they'll have assumed we've gone somewhere else.
Yeah, we should press on for a bit. If we can't make it, then the hammocks are a really good option. But right now, I think it's better we press on.
Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna light this flashlight. There's no way in hell I'm doing that.
Is there a way we can... I look at Simon. Maybe there's a way we can lessen the light. We only need it to see directly in front of us after all. We don't need it shining through the forest. Maybe we can attach some leaves or dull it a little.
I could maybe make some kind of hood for it with a duct tape or something.
Or just, you could just shine it through a piece of cloth instead. Maybe that's a good idea, yeah.
Those sound good ideas to me, children. Let's try them.
I rip off a bit of my shirt and try to cover the flashlight in that.
Of course, when you are dampening the light, it also dampening the effect of the flashlight, so when you're hiding it, it doesn't work as well either. It gives you some light, I guess. But the effects are probably correlating, so when you're hiding it, the effect of the flashlight is diminishing. If you want to use it effectively, you have to take some risk. That would be that someone else could spot you or the light in the dark jungle. If you have bad luck.
No, you know what, Amber? I'm sorry. I really think we need to use the flashlight.
I take it and I throw it at him.
Oh, what if you've broken it?
Fuck you.
Amber.
Come on, Amber.
Language now.
Come on, Amber. It's just, I'm just trying to make the best of this situation, Amber. Please.
Well, you lead the way then.
Yeah.
But if they're coming close, I don't know.
Don't worry, Amber. I'll try and make sure nothing bad happens to you. I promise.
I won't let anything happen to you guys either. So don't worry, okay?
I just sulk, look down, and grab my machete.
And I start leading the way again. Trying to keep the flashlight low, lighting the ground more than the surrounding.
Yeah. You're walking together. Simon is leading the way with the flashlight. Simon, you're like... reach this kind of cliff, you need to walk with your backs on the rock wall, because there's pretty steep on the other side. It's kind of a sharp corner, so Simon, when you go first, you go around the corner and out on the other side and waiting for the others. And at just that moment, someone grabs your hand. It's Carceri. Hi, Simon.
Fuck!
What the fuck are you doing here?
What
Come
the fuck
on
are
now.
you doing here? Let go of me!
Let's go to the fire instead of standing here in the dark. Have you been crazy or something?
What the fuck is this? What are you doing here?
Have you been tripping totally? Just taking some pills, running out in the jungle, and then like standing here with that flashlight? You're scaring me.
Were you on the plane as well?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The plane?
We came here by boat.
Yeah, but...
Yeah? So you're coming or not? I'm not gonna wait here forever.
This is crazy. This is fucking crazy.
Simon, chill down. You have been taking, like, ecstasy and whatever Andy gave you. Please, calm down and come with me. You're not yourself just now.
I start looking around for the others. Is Amber still behind me and Wendy?
You can't see them. Carrie is hugging you. Please, Simon, calm down. She smells really good.
But this is... I remember Andy and...
Yeah.
And
Can't you hear the guitars? Can't you hear the singing?
You're just telling me it's just a bad trip? This
Yeah.
is no.
We are
No,
on the
this
island.
is-
We are on the fucking island outside Bangkok. Where do you think you are?
On freaking... The plane went down.
No,
And
no.
it crashed and I woke up in the morning
No.
and you guys weren't there and there was blood and then the boat came and we looked for you and you weren't there and then I had to go home and you weren't there.
You're
We
having
looked
a
for you.
really bad trip now. Okay, can't you hear the guitars? You can actually hear the guitars. They are like singing campfire songs nearby.
No. And Wendy and Amber, they're back there, and they need me. They need me.
Please,
This
for
is
fuck's sake,
this
Simon,
is,
calm down. You're just having a really bad trip. You're believing things that aren't true. We are on a fucking paradise island. Outside Thailand. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come.
Yeah.
Come, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so weird.
Yeah.
But I could swear Amber and Wendy they were just behind me. And Sebastian, the pilot of the
No.
plane, they shot him or something. And we
Okay.
my God.
You are like the worst day tripper ever. I have never seen someone get so crazy.
I guess I'm not that used to
Just come on. now.
whatever. Yeah.
She takes your hand and kind of leads you towards the fire. They're sitting there, everyone. Andy, his friend Rick. There's the other friends of Carrie. It's Lisa and Jamie, and they are like laughing, drinking beer. They have Singa Thai beer, and they are smoking some joints and playing guitar, and they are like smiling, and all are looking at you and kind of laughing because you're probably looking like a fucking idiot with... Andy looks at you and like, what the fuck do you have on your back? Is that like a backpack? Have you taken our picnic basket and filled it with shit? What are you doing?
Okay, guys. The joke's on me. I'm a freaking noob. I've never really done drugs before, and this is kind of freaking me out. I'm totally tripping balls, okay?
Yeah. Carrie's like giving you a kiss on your cheek, and they're singing and laughing, and
I sit down by the fire.
yeah.
Yeah. And grab a beer.
Yeah. Amber and Wendy. When you turn around the cliff, Simon is not there waiting for you.
Simon.
But you can see as like it's not so clear, but you can see this dim light moving into the jungle.
Is that him? I like squint in the darkness after it. Where the fuck did he go?
I don't know, darling. He might... A part of me is wondering if I actually even want to follow. But part of me feels like we need him. Yes. No. Shh. Okay, let's just see where he's going. It must be him, and I sort of try to catch up. But I'm be very careful. I've not forgotten my fall from a few days ago.
Maybe they got him. Maybe they took him and he's just playing along to be alone.
Well, let's decide when we see him, darling. So go on.
Okay, and I kind of kneel down to try to sneak after, and I look around as much as possible to make sure that no one else is there or any other lights nearby.
Yeah, it sounds like you are acting under pressure, Amber.
Yeah.
Wendy, you can help if you want to.
Yes.
13 minus 2 is 11. Are you helping?
I am hindering because I rolled a 6.
Amber, you are sneaking down in the jungle after the dim light, with Wendy after you. And then you take some branches and vines aside and you look into this kind of opening in the jungle where Simon sits in the middle of a ring with people in it. He's holding his arm around this girl. She's covered in blood. And it seems that all of the girls and guys around the ring is covered in wounds and blood, and but they are still sitting there singing, and Simon is singing with them.
What are they singing?
They are singing like some kind of it sounds like Hotel California.
This is fucked up, and I kind of hide to the side where the greenery that I just pulled away, like I'm hiding behind it. I'm not gonna go in there. That's I look at Wendy. You gotta see this.
I come forward and I see the scene.
Yeah.
I look a little confused. I notice Amber's reaction and I almost feel like I should look more concerned. And I do look more concerned then for her. Oh.
Simon seems so happy.
And the thing is, part of me thinks maybe we don't need him anymore, but then I say no. No, we need him still. We need it. He can't stop here. I'll handle this, Amber, don't worry.
Who are all those people?
Doesn't matter who they are. We just need him to come with us. For now. He can come back to them later. I say this very... like I almost wasn't quite aware I was saying that to you.
I look at her like very skeptically, pulling a teenager, doubtful look.
I move forward.
Yeah. You are walking into the glade or
Yes.
the opening, yeah. Simon, you're sitting there holding your arm around Carrie and they're handing you a beer, and like an ice cold beer, when you hear footsteps approaching behind you.
I was probably in the middle of telling everyone about my fucked up trip, how I've imagined the plane going down, and Amber and Wendy that I invented in my head. When I kind of pause, take a sip of the beer, and turn over to see who's coming up behind us.
How does Wendy look just now?
I am wearing the expedition clothing. I look sweaty, I look tired, and I look a bit manic. I mean, the entire time since we left the fire, I've been very jittery, very shaky, but also very determined looking in my eyes, my face, as if I'm just determined to always keep moving now, always keep moving forward.
Yeah. Have you armed yourself, or are you...
Yes, I have my knife nearby, and I have that little revolver. I don't actually have any weapons in my hand right now. If anything, I'd be moving towards Simon with my hands outstretched, trying to sort of placate him, like raised up, like, calm down. Simon. Can you hear me, Simon?
And I see Wendy,
Yeah.
right?
You see Wendy.
Wendy? Are you for real?
Yes, Simon, I'm real.
But no.
You should probably keep it together, Simon.
Yeah.
As Wendy is moving out, and Simon is looking at her and starts to talk to her, I come up behind her as well.
You can see the corpses are like looking at you too now. One of them, he kind of reach out with the hand. His hand is covered by these marks of decomposition, and he's having some kind of pills in it or something. Join the party, he says.
I thought you guys... This isn't real.
Simon, no, it's not real. You need to come with us. You can join these people later, but you still need to do something first. Remember?
Carrie takes hold of Simon. He's with us. Who are you?
Who are you? What happened to you? You look like...
No.
You look like you're... Like you died.
What are you talking about, Amber? No.
Don't you see it, Simon? They're all bloody and they're kind of rotting.
Yeah, Simon, you should choose a condition.
I think actually... I think I become guilt-ridden.
You can't leave me, Simon, not again.
No, I can't. This is kind of all my fault, I think. I can't do this again. No, Amber, I have to stay.
Simon, do you want me to show you that these things are not important right now? Because I will. And I sort of reach for the blade.
I need to make things okay. They need me here, and I it's all my fault, I think, because I weren't there for them. But
well, they're
now
fucking
I am.
dead now. We need you, Simon. Come on. And I look at you pleading with my big eyes.
Yeah, and you still have holds over Simon, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one hold, I think, left.
Yeah.
And that I would use to make them feel bad for opposing me.
As this is happening, I do pause. I pause in what I was going to do and sort of just look at Amber and wait.
Oh, Amber, I'm so sorry. What do you want me to do? This is...
Simon, you're helping us get off this island. It's too late for these people. We're still alive. Look at us.
What do you mean? I look at the people around the fire.
Yeah, they look normal.
Yeah, I don't understand what you mean, Amber. They're just like last time I saw them, and there's nothing wrong. I don't understand this. Why can't you just sit down here? We're safe.
I grit my teeth, and my patience is lost. I go, Simon, I'll show you what these things are. I walk forward very quickly, get out my knife, and drive it through the man who was offering me to join the party. I try and drive it through his head.
Yeah. Like into his mouth.
Yep, it comes easy to me. I'm really angry. I don't have time for Simon to be lost here. I do not have time for this.
Yeah. When you do that, the knife stuck somewhere in the back of his throat before you take it out again, and everyone around the campfire just gets up and start running, except Carrie. She's still holding her hand around Simon, looking at you with this.
Carrie, I need to help Amber and Wendy get off this island. I need to help Amber.
She just killed Andy. She gets up from there and she starts running into the jungle.
Aren't you reacting to him putting a knife through the mouth of one of them?
Andy is just laying there on the ground, like shaking.
At this point, I remove the knife. I look at Simon and go, which one's more real, Simon? That the unreal people have just murdered one of your friends? Or your friends or one of these people are already dead, and that we're the ones who need you?
Simon, I've been seeing all kinds of things since I got here. I've been seeing my friends, I've been seeing people from earlier in my life. They're not real. We're stuck here and we need to get out of here.
I don't know what's real anymore. I took some pills and I have no idea. I don't know. Why did you do that, Wendy? That was Andy. Andy was my friend.
I go up to Simon and slap him in the face hard, as he did to me earlier.
Slap him. You feel the pain.
I need to go find the others. You are crazy. I push her away.
Yeah.
Really, really push her away.
Simon, if you're going, at least give us the flashlight.
Do I still have the flashlight?
Yeah, you... Yep. Laid it down beside you, but you noticed it's so dark in here. There's no fire. Where's the campfire? It was like a second ago a campfire and beer, but now you notice that you're just sitting here in this dark like ring, and
I start looking for the flashlight to try to pick it up. Wendy, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy. You stabbed him in the mouth.
I look around to see if I can even see this individual I stabbed in the darkness anymore. Can I?
but you can see something else. There's a new flashlight flashing you all up. And up in the jungle where you came from, there are like a circle of men, really rugged men, with like knives and pistols and axes. And they are like lighting you up. One of them, a bearded man in his 40s.
Oh, fuck.
He looks at you with a grin on his face. Hi guys! We were looking for you. And here you are, screaming in the jungle. Don't be afraid, we're here to help you, to bring you up to the camp.
This isn't real, is it?
It is real. We have been sent here because we are the new messengers of Babi Ngepet. You have been acting very bad. You have been behaving in a way that doesn't please him.
The man just smiles more at you. Well, why won't you come with us and tell the god himself, young lady?
I suppose we have no choice, do we? Really, sir?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course we're gonna come.
Yeah. You don't want to run around in this jungle with these dangerous natives and animals.
No, we
Will you?
don't. And I go over to Simon at this point and I say aloud, "This one, though, doesn't understand. We'll need to bring him."
I think big tears are just streaming down my face at this point, and I'm just looking utterly confused.
The men, there are 7 of them, are kind of walking down towards you, circling you. "Come on," says the talking man. You notice his teeth are totally black, like almost rotten. "My name is Jaime. What's your name, young man?"
I'm Simon.
"Well, Simon, this jungle have a tendency to make little jokes with your mind. You shouldn't believe everything you see here or hear.
What are you gonna do?
We are going to help you. I'm going to help you. Okay? Do you want to read him?
I was going to say I'd like to read a person, but
Yeah,
we can both
you can
read, I
do
guess.
so.
Yeah.
Everyone can read him if you want to. That's okay.
I roll 18.
I roll 11.
He smiles at Simon, giving him his hand to help him up.
Yeah, I'd take the hand. Let him drag me up onto my feet.
I very briefly go over to Amber and just whisper in her ear. "Yes, Amber, that's good. We must commit to this idea of yours, yes?" I'm very surprised.
Of course.
I think to myself that she was the one to do it. This works.
I look very determined. Like stretching, standing tall, trying not to look hesitant. As if us being here is the most evident, obvious thing in the world.
Don't you worry, we will help you reach the camp safe. We know the jungle.
We understand you found other survivors as well.
That's true.
So, what are you about to do?
Well, the other ones, well, they are in a kind of a bad spot, I would say, but you have luck that it was me that found you. I would say that you and me could have a common interest here on the island.
Good.
You see, walk with me. We don't want to stay here all night. He kind of turns his attention into the jungle. Let's go upwards. Follow the path.
As we start to follow him, curious, when he said that we could have similar interests,
Yeah?
was he lying?
No.
I nod as I walk over to this man. I actually smile. The smile that I'm quite practiced. I'm like, "Well, isn't it good we found you, sir? After all, as you say, similar interests. Yes, I definitely think we have similar interests."
Yeah.
What can you tell us about your experiences with our god? I'm curious.
Our god? Do you mean the one here on the island?
Yes. Of course I do. Baba Ngepet.
Well, that's not my god.
Oh, I smile.
I guess you and Harkness would have more things in common then, but you see, every one of us doesn't want to stay on this fucking island forever.
No, you don't. What's wrong with it? Seems like a charming place.
You think so? He looks around with a grin on his face and... We were supposed to leave years ago. Until Harkness went fucking insane. And... yeah. Made a decision to stay here. There's a lot of people following him. But a lot of them are out there searching for you. I tend to bring you back. But what we do there when we come to the camp, it's entirely up to you. You can decide yourself. You can either get into those wooden cages in the temple and wait for Harkness to tell you the truth, whatever he says. Or you could do something with me and those men. He looks around at the rugged men around you.
I frown a little and I put on a very business-like persona now. I'm used to selling things after all. Why exactly are you telling us all this? You just come and tell everyone you meet in the jungle your plans to potentially rile things up with your allies? Would-be allies?
Not really, but I don't have so much choice anymore. You're the last ones.
What do you mean the last ones?
There won't be any more prisoners after you.
You mean from the airplane? Is that how you came here as well? Crashed down and then were brought to the island?
No. We came here with Harkness many years ago. We were trapped here by a storm. Harkness was a pretty good captain until he went mad. Stayed in that temple up there, looking at that big statue and the piles of skulls, and decided to start to torture people. Everyone that opposed him were killed in horrible ways. So, well, I kept silent. I'm not the type that do things until it's really necessary, but I don't want to stay here with that fucking lunatic forever, and if we don't do anything, we won't get away, won't we?
Well, I suppose then you're leading the way. And I wonder what I have to do to get this guy to actually help us.
You have a feeling that he will probably give you a offer of some sort pretty soon. Something he wants you to do. But it sounds like this kind of guy wouldn't really ask you for help if he don't think that there's a risk involved that he could avoid himself by asking you. So he don't seem directly trustworthy, more of the kind that could probably help him in some way, as long as he doesn't lose anything himself doing it.
Well, I smile quite pleasantly and nod to the others. I guess we're going with our friends then.
Yeah, but you see, the only way to break the fear that Harkness has over everyone is if someone kills him, I would guess. And yeah, he wouldn't let me in there with something big enough to do him any harm, but I mean, if we would put something on you, like hide something on you, you maybe would have a small chance to do anything, wouldn't you?
Yes, that sounds very logical. You're clearly a clever man.
Yeah. That rifle is probably too big, but a gun, maybe that would work.
Well, why don't you start leading the way, sir, and we'll follow along. Let's get this over with.
Let's go then.
And I go back to Amber and very briefly remark, whatever happens, Amber, you stay safe and see what we can do about Simon. I'll take the lead, okay?
Yeah.
The man leads you towards up the mountain and stop for like a camp sometime in the middle of the night to rest a bit. You're now like high up in the mountain. This man didn't know where he trailed, so they lead you towards the most easiest paths upwards. And you're all sitting down on a high cliff with a view over the jungles. You can still see the glow from the research station and also smoke down there. You can also see lights from other groups probably looking for you guys in the jungle.
So tell me, sir, what have your people been doing here? What's with all this? Looking like you were researching something.
Jaime look at you with a smile. Well, in the beginning we just tried to survive, I guess. Fought the fucking natives with our guns. They kill a lot of us, but you know, guns beats stone axes and arrows, so we kind of hold our post. Then Harkness found that temple or god of his and got really crazy. He started with the native captives we had. Decided to like torture them. But then he started to hunt for them in the jungles. Sent out groups of men to take them and brought them to the temple. Eventually the 3 tribes, priests, what the fuck they is, decided to bow for Harkness. I don't know why. They saw him as holy or something. And then things got really weird. They came up to the temple and had some ritual. Harkness forced us to look at it. They tortured him for days. And afterwards he believed to be some kind of, some kind of half-god or something. I mean, our captain thinks this god of his, Babi, Ngepet, or what you call him, is with him, like feeling him. I don't know what you American would call it, but
He feels like it's chosen him.
Yeah, but more than that. Like it's in him, if you understand.
Like he sort of possessed him?
Yeah, like that. And now he believes if he just offer the last captives to his god, he will like turn into a living god or something. That's just bullshit. He's really crazy. But the men are really afraid of him. It's just a few of us left that don't want to do this shit anymore and are tired. So tired. But
yeah,
Yeah. There are a lot of them. Many things they believe he's shit, so.
I understand. I think to myself that the things we've seen, the dreams I had of Babi Ngepet, I wonder if it was from him, if they came from Harkness, or if they actually came from this sort of being. Because something is clearly going on this island, something's very strange. Maybe it wants us to kill him. And I don't know. And I shake it off. It's just weird thoughts.
So, what happens? What happens after he dies then?
Yeah, I guess men will tear apart.
He doesn't have a second in command?
Yeah, he had one, but everyone hates that fucker. They will probably kill him just
because they can.
He's called Demise. He's a sociopath. Everyone hates him, so that wouldn't be a problem. I would guess that if Harkness dies, everyone would second guess everything we have been doing here. It just takes one guy to tell everyone to it's time to go, and we will just take the ship and leave this island.
And you will take us with you?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? Of course. You mean we couldn't take the fucking killers with us? So some of them would probably need to stay, or something. But
sounds like it's too late for them anyway to want to go anywhere.
Yeah, and we would probably be able to take the prisoners that aren't already dead with us, so
we could send the authorities here later on when we get back, right?
Yeah.
I've been sort of thinking mostly to myself about what he said, that all of the rest of the survivors are dead. So I'm trying to prepare myself for the worst.
I just nod and smile and say, well, let's stop talking for now. Get a move on.
Yeah. But, when we come to the camp, we need to make it look authentic, so I would probably need to tie up, but just with knots that you could get out of. And we would need to hide any weapons on you. And then we just let them bring you to Harkness and you can finish him off, okay?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
We make it look like you're readying us for the sacrifice.
Yeah,
Go in,
exactly.
And then we just need to get him.
And if you see anything crazy in there, yeah, it's just the island, it's weird, but it's not for real, It's no half-god. Okay?
I nod and get ready to go through with this. I'm very resolute that this is how things must go one way or the other.
I look at Wendy, seeing her and the determined look she has, and I think to myself that if they're all dead, if Jennifer's dead too, I don't know what else I can do. There's just too many of them. I suppose I'll have to go through with that, hoping they don't tie me too tightly. And I say to Wendy, I suppose this machete won't do, but could you hand me that knife?
I hesitate for a little bit, and I go, alright. Yes, you can have the knife. No, actually, maybe you should have the gun. Amber, maybe you'd be better with that. I think I'll be alright with this knife.
And I nod.
Just remember, whatever happens, I'll go for it first. Don't want you hesitating now, do we?
Sure. And I take it and I put it at the in my trousers along the back, and I take the extra ammo and put in a side pocket.
Okay, so we have shifted the equipment a little bit here. So now you have a revolver, and also Jaime hands you, Simon, a gun.
I just look at it really puzzled and put it in, like in the belt, yeah.
It's like a smaller, compact automatic pistol. So he smiles at you and he says like, well, you have one magazine. So try to shoot Harkness with all the bullets, okay?
Yeah, but won't his men kill us?
I understand that you are a little bit uncertain about this, but well, think like this. If you don't do it, you will die yourself.
I'm starting to think that I'm already dead.
No, you're not dead. The dead are...
What happened? But sorry, I just can't wrap my head around this. What happened to Carrie and the others?
Who the fuck is Carrie?
They weren't even here?
No, Simon. They were never here. They're gone, whoever these people are. You don't focus on them later. Right now, this is what we need you for.
Yeah, sorry, Wendy. We'll do this, okay? Whatever it takes to get you guys out of here, I'll do it.
The sun is rising over the mountains, and you can also hear the siren once again echoing over the mountains. You can now clearly hear that it's originating from the camp. Jaime just shakes his head. That's some fucking ritual that Harkness have. He make us turn on those sirens every time he have skinned one of them alive.
Oh my god, it's fucking nuts.
Sounds to me like this is the time.
It's time to tie you up, guys. Are you ready? And your backpack and everything, I need to take it from you. It would be weird if we left it on you,
No, take everything.
Yeah. Okay. You can have this shit, he says, and look at the suit backpack on Amber's back. What the fuck is this? Is this kind of... Have you Is it an old suit you have kind of...
Yeah, I made her a backpack, okay?
We just had it for that before. Now I don't know. It's what I've had to carry stuff in, and I open it and I take out the flare gun, the hammock, and it just looks flat. And I actually take my hiking jacket and I put it outside of it because it feels like it's protecting me a little bit.
Yeah, didn't Simon say that it would?
He did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take his word for that, I suppose.
Well, Jaime is just smiling with his black teeth towards you, and he says with a grin on his face, you guys are probably the most inventive guys I've seen on this island. You have, most just run around scared, but you have, collected a lot of things. Rope, hammock. How the fuck did you come by these things?
We're survivors. That's how. Now let's stop talking and get on with it. And I lift up my hands to be tied loosely like.
No offense, but I really want to get the fuck out of this island.
Yeah, sure. He ties you both up, every one of you, and then he walks with you.
I'm really sorry, Wendy and Amber. This is not... I really wanted to help you guys, okay?
Simon, it's fine. This is how it's supposed to be. This is exactly how it was supposed to be. I know that now.
Just play along now, Simon. We're captured.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Don't be, I say, looking down as we go, and as we go next to each other, I kind of lean into him a little bit.
You can all see some kind of outpost sitting with rifle, watching over the path. It's like a ridge with this really steep abyss outside of it. Must be hundreds of meters down. Jaime and the others just leads you toward this, over it, and then into this kind of ruined city, stone city. Reminds you of pictures of those South American ancient cities, like Inca or Aztec things. Like stone ruins. But you can see the top of them, there are like stairs leading up, and you can see some kind of camp with a palisade of trees that have been chopped up to probably from the beginning to hinder people from getting into the camp. But there are also like spikes inwards, as they have used it to stop people from fleeing from the camp later on. There are a lot of guards in here still, but you can see that camp is not filled with people. There are a lot of tents in here. The men just says hi to Jaime and the others, and they lead you forward. You can see the men here are emancipated and rugged, and they just give you those grim stares, like they know what's going to happen to you.
I keep my head down, try to look as I've sort of been broken. Try not to attract attention. But on the side, I try to speak to Wendy in a calm voice, and I try to tell her, "Thank you, Wendy. Thank you all this way through. You've been really nice to me, and I really appreciate what you've done. You've kept me calm. You've been great. I felt really safe with you, and I want you to know that I still do. I think that because of what you've done, and well, of course we all helped out. I mean, we couldn't have done it without Simon either, but I want you to know that it's meant a lot to me, and what we're gonna do now, I believe you can do it. I believe we can do it together, okay?"
I actually look a little caught off guard. I bite my lip a little.
I try to influence other. 9 plus 3, 12. Okay. And I choose that you are motivated to do what I ask and get +1 for your next roll if you do it. And we're gonna kill this guy, okay? You're gonna do what you did with the knife to that other thing, okay?
Yes, Amber. I will. It means a lot to hear you say that you believe in me, though. You really think I've been good to you?
Yeah, you have. I fell asleep with you stroking my hair that first day on the beach. I didn't think I would.
It's nice to be wanted, you know. If only my daughters would say that. They never have, you know.
I'm sure they think it anyway.
No, they don't.
I'm sure they miss you.
No, they don't. only things could be different, Amber. Hey, just know this, then. I didn't really want what was going to happen. Or how I think it will happen to happen, you know? A little part of me didn't really want that. You believe that, right?
Of course.
That's nice to know. Thank you, Amber. And I actually sound genuine when I say that.
The man leads you to a big, broad stone staircase that had been cut into the bedrock. Giant stone statues of the wild boar god line the sides of the staircase that leads up to this opening, this cave opening into the mountain. A really, really big man, like really dark skinned, in blue bathing shorts and flip-flops, like the biggest man you have ever seen, is waiting at the stairs for you. Jaime is just like, hello, I have these guys for you. Yeah, that's the prisoners. Just take them to Harkness. He's probably waiting for them. And then he gives you this kind of blink before he smilingly walks away with the other man. And this big African man, he just looks at you with a grim smile and says, follow me, or you will regret it.
Of course. I smile at him, again seeming suddenly very calm and happy. Why would we want to keep the big man waiting?
I just look down and I follow.
I carefully tried to test the ropes they bound us with, just to make sure they didn't, bound us too tightly.
Yeah, no, you can feel that they would probably give up if you just put some pressure on the knots. These are not knots to hold you, so. Well, this giant of a man leads you up the stairs and into the cave, into a hall. It's a really big hall, like probably 100 meters from one side to the other. In one end you can see these kind of wooden cages with people in them. On the other side you can see a big statue of the naked man with the wild boar head. And around the statue is so many skulls of people you can't really count it. You can also see there are some fresh, bloody bodies strung up on poles besides an altar. And over the altar there are a young woman strung up. She's screaming and crying while a man with some kind of boar head on him is skinning her leg. Amber, you can see that's Jennifer.
And I feel terror, but more than anything, it's a mix of things, really. I feel relief in one way that she's alive. I feel anger for not only once has someone pinned her down and used and abused her. I know what I did to that guy. And this fucker is not gonna get away with it either. I try to look for a moment to tear up the ropes and to draw my gun.
Yeah, the giant African is leading you into the hall, and Wendy, you are walking right behind him. He don't seem to think that you're a threat at all. He's just walking towards the cages and don't really mind you.
Do I feel this could be the moment to act, or do I feel that we need to wait a little more? I'm looking around, where is this man with the boar? He's Harkness, yes. How far is he from us? If we started attacking now, how far would he be?
He's like in the middle of the hall, so you could probably reach him with a gun. But he would probably see you if you would try to like run at him with your knife. But you don't know if he would hear anything, if you took down the giant, if you would do it really fast, because the girl is screaming so much that she like all of the hall is like echoing of her screams. It's so loud. So
I tense. I loosen my bonds a little and I just reach for the knife and I just wait a few more seconds and I just look at Amber and Simon.
Yeah.
And sort of am ready.
I loosen mine as well, and I draw my gun.
I lose my ropes as well and pull the pistol.
Okay. Yeah. Wendy, you can see how the big man is slowly like looking backwards at you. Would probably have to do something, or he would see that you all are free of your ropes.
I look at the statue for a while. I just feel the rage within me just spill out. Enough waiting. I draw my knife and I try and drive it straight into his back.
Yeah.
Not just anywhere in the back, like right... I know where it would be good. Right in the spine.
I guess you activate your rage.
Yes, I do. I lose 1 stability to gain a hold of rage.
Yeah, and to stab him is an act under pressure because he's not fighting you yet, so...
11.
You push the knife into his back, and he, at the same time, like, turn around and kind of grabs you with one of his hands. He's tried to put it around your neck. These, like, really big hands. So, while you feel how the knife is, like, just pushing into the back of him, he's trying to crush your neck with his big hand and start screaming out of rage himself. You can endure injury.
I will, and as I endure the injury, I spend 1 hold, as I'm just sort of filled with so much adrenaline and anger now. I want it out. I will not be stopped by this, and that gives me a +2 to the roll.
That means that you don't need to subtract the harm, so you can just add your fortitude and roll.
11.
He kind of tries to crush you, but you can feel his strength is waning, and he falls to the ground. At the same time, this giant jailer is dead. You can see the man at the altar is staring at you all. He has still the mask on him. He seemed to have noticed you. Somehow, he seemed to have felt that you were here. And he stops torturing Jennifer and starts running towards you. The only thing he have in his hands is this bloody crooked knife, nothing more. And he seems to be naked except the wild boar head. But his body is kind of covered in scarrings and runes and things cut into his body.
Do I get a hold again because I've defeated the foe? Right.
You do, yeah.
As I sort of just lean up from taking down this man. I sort of take a moment. Actually, no, you'd think I'd take a moment to sort of try and rub my neck from where it's been crushed, but I'm just livid, and I just look at the others, and all I do is scream, "If you think you are worthy of your god, then prove it!"
Having seen her struggle for a bit, I held my breath as she was fighting this giant, and as he stops moving, I feel the revolver in my hand, and I look up and I see just Harkness starting to run towards us, and I raise up the gun and I start firing at him.
I guess you just try to shoot as many bullets you can at a man.
Yes, I would. Probably yes. Yes, try to pepper him full of bullets.
And as he are running against you and can't really do anything now, you don't need to roll. You just shoot a lot of bullets, and you can see that many of them are hitting the man, and many of them are hitting the walls also, but as you are like almost emptying the drum of the gun. Simon, you have also a gun.
Just after Amber starts shooting, I raise up my pistol, and I actually hesitate for a few seconds, but then I start emptying my magazine as well into him.
And that means actually that you engage in combat, because this man is really fast. At the same time Amber shoots at him, he seems to like get half the distance against you, and he's so fast for being a man. He's running towards you, so when you start shooting you can see he's almost like crouching together to jump at you. So you can roll for engage in combat.
Die, you fucker.
I intend to get in between the girls and him.
Yeah.
Ooh, 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still sort of overkilling. 16.
Simon, you also shoot a lot of bullets into the man, but you don't know really how, but he's still running with all those bullets in him. It's like it kind of stops him for a moment, because he falls down and then get up on his feet again, and then Amber starts shooting again at the man. But after Amber have like emptied the revolver into the man's back, he still gets up, and now he's just jumping you all with the knife, like chopping with it at you. What are you guys doing?
Seeing Simon come before me, kind of shove Simon out the way. Yeah. I am feral. I am roaring as much as I can. I just jump at him with my knife, coming from behind him as he goes to Amber.
Yeah. Okay, you can engage in combat.
And I'm fumbling with the revolver. I try to empty it out as quickly as I can and put the other drum in it.
Yeah. You're desperately trying to find the bullets and put them in.
I roll 19.
Yeah.
And I spend my hold to do an additional 1 harm, making it now a free harm attack.
Yeah. So, can you describe how you stabbed this man to death?
I leap onto his back. After all, I'm not a big-built woman. I just sort of seem to fly through the air, and I just start hacking at his back. I kind of like clutch onto him with no regard for my own safety, and you just see a livid joy on my features as I just stab, and it feels right, and it feels good, and it feels what it was all about as I just stab and bite and tear at his flesh.
And I look like down between my ammunition and up, and I like see this play out in front of me. And I was like, Wendy.
You can all see Wendy's rage as she slaughters the man, rips off the mask, and you can see the old man's face suddenly twitched in pain and some kind of fear as Wendy stabs the man's face open with a knife, just continuing stabbing him, cutting him open until there's almost... until it's not recognizable as a human anymore, just a clump of meat and blood. And then Wendy, you can hear something. It seems like everything is fading away. The other ones also. The hall is dark and silent. Something is approaching you in the darkness. This giant creature, the wild boar's head, and it have two young women with it, holding them towards you as a gift.
Are they who I think they are?
Yes, they are your daughters. It put them in front of you, and then the giant reached out with a crooked knife in its hand, like an offer.
I pause for a moment. I look behind me. Is there nothing else now? Just me here with him
You
and them?
and it in the darkness, and the god are looking down at you.
I go forward. I look at them.
They are whimpering, looking at you with tears falling from their eyes. So afraid.
Why are we crying, children?
Mom? Where are we?
Oh,
What is this? Why are you covered in blood?
I've been covered in blood a long time, my children. Bit late to cry now, isn't it? Regretting maybe some of the choices we've made in our lives, are we?
We are sorry. Please.
You're sorry. And I just am filled with this rage, this hate. I brought you into this world, you know. And for my entire life, you've just drained me. Just taken everything from me. I lean down to one, I take the knife, I bring it to her face. I have always held your lives in my hands. You were never grateful, were you? Do you know a funny story? I actually met someone who cared. She's better than you. Better than all of you. Do you understand?
No.
Of course you don't. You never have understood anything. We all make choices. You, her, the girl, that girl. You made choices to die. You made choices to be what you are. I made it too. I understand though, now. She believes in me, yes. I understand now. If only she'd been my daughter, eh? And I slit the first one's throat.
And while you slit the first throat, Sarah starts screaming. I guess you continue.
I don't care. Yes, I go and I slit the second throat too.
The blood is staining your hands and the floor. But you can also feel how this kind of power is filling you this incredible power, a feeling of life, and you can't really describe it. Maybe it's such a good feeling. You feel renewed.
Yes.
You can also sense that they are now listening to you. The flayed ones in the darkness.
Yes.
You can feel they will come to your aid if you want to. Well, as Wendy stops stabbing Harkness, you two, Simon and Amber, can see how she just stares at you with an empty gaze and a smile on her face. And then it's like her eyes are just darkening. From the opening of the cave you can hear how people are walking in. The seamen. They are walking into the cave hall and they are falling to their knees in front of Wendy.
And I see Harkness falling down, turning into a bloody mess. And I kneel down quickly and I pick up the knife, his jagged knife, and I run over, screaming, "Jennifer!" feeling tears running down my cheeks. "We killed him, Jennifer! We killed him! We killed him! We killed Blondie! We killed him! We killed... You're gonna be free. You're gonna be free again."
Through all this, through the feeling of exaltation, through the feeling of finally thinking I know, do I see that girl again from Thailand?
You can probably sense her. You can probably sense all the dead on the island.
Yes. Thank you, child. You showed me the way. But, and I look over at Amber, she did better than you. Thank you all.
Simon just starts laughing, and he seems to never stop.
You have listened to a special episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the adventure The Island of the Dead for KULT Divinity Lost. KULT is published by Helmgast. The music is from the official KULT soundtrack, featuring Atrium Carceri, Mechanoreceptor, Mind Divided, Warfield, Howler, Second Escape, Michael Idehall, Precision Field, Zwaga, Occult Cow Demise, Pandoras Black Book, and Tantrick Ape, and is used with permission from Helmgast. Finally, a big thank you to all of our Patreon backers. Creating all this content would not be possible without your generous support on Patreon. You give us so much energy, help us cover our costs, and open up time to record and edit. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And remember, death is only the beginning.